Have you ever heard the saying that it takes money to make money? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can get up to $250,000 in unsecured credit, even if you don't have really great credit right now. And I could share with you exactly how to do this in less than 30 days. And you can use this money to build a business, buy a business, start a business, invest in real estate, invest in the stock market. And this is how the wealthy get wealthy. And this is unfortunately why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, is because the poor don't understand how to leverage OPM or other people's money. So buckle up your seatbelts, because I have a lot of stuff to cover in this very short period of time on exactly how you can get up to $250,000 in unsecured credit in the next 30 days or less. All right, so you're probably thinking, well, Monica, you have a lot of bold promises there. I mean, maybe I don't have that great of a credit. How does this work? How is this going to happen for me? Well, first and foremost, I want you to check out some of my other videos that I've done on fixing your personal credit as quickly as possible. Because in order for this to work effectively for you, you do need to have a mid-FICO of between 720 and 750, somewhere in that range. And by mid-FICO, I mean between your Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion personal FICO scores. You do need to take that middle score, and that is what we call your mid-FICO in the biz, okay? And so once you have a mid-FICO between 720 and 750, now mind you, please check out my other credit videos. I share with you exactly how to get it up to that and as quickly as possible using my little-known unorthodox credit fixing, repair, and rebuilding secrets. So I'm not going to go into that kind of detail in this video. What I'm going to share with you is, assuming that you do have a FICO of at least 720 or above, I'm going to share with you exactly how to utilize a strategy that I call credit stacking that a lot of people don't understand and know how to use. Being able to use other people's money to get unsecured credit without having to go and get a bank loan. Because the problem that a lot of people don't understand is getting a bank loan requires you to have a lot of really good credit personally, but also really good credit business-wise. And when you do have a corporation or a business, it does need to have been in business for at least 2 solid tax years with really good supporting documentation or tax returns showing high profitability. So if you don't have any of that, then getting a bank loan, or a block as we call it, which stands for business line of credit for a relatively new corporation, is probably not going to happen for you. But there's another way to be able to tap into unsecured business credit as quickly as possible to be able to utilize for the purposes of building wealth for yourself. Because again, this is how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. This is one of the many secrets that they purposely withhold from you so that you constantly stay in the state of being broke or poor. Because this is the type of stuff that the wealthy teach their own kids, right? This is the type of stuff that they teach at top business universities across the country, where they teach you how to be wealthy. And a lot of it has to do with leveraging OPM or other people's money. And believe it or not, you have these same loopholes that you have at your fingertips. It's just the vast majority of the population have no idea that this is a possibility. So let me talk about what I kind of briefly gave you a window in on, which is business or corporate credit. Now, if you've never heard of business credit or corporate credit, it basically means that you have a corporate entity. Ideally, it'll be in your home state, or it can be in one of the anonymous states. The 4 anonymous states in the country are Wyoming, Delaware, New Mexico, and Nevada. Those are your 4 anonymous states, which means that you can start a corporation in any one of those 4 states. Make sure that you pay the extra fee, and you can actually get an anonymous corporation so that, you don't have nosy neighbors and nosy family members knowing your business, right? Otherwise, more than likely, you're going to start a corporate entity or a for-profit corporation in your home state. So say, for example, you're in the state of Florida, like where I'm at right now, and you might think, okay, well, maybe I'll just get a for-profit corporation in the state of Florida. That's fine, or wherever you are located right now. And so what you can do is go to AmiraLawyer.com. It's the company that I like to use for all of my corporate formation solutions. And I also like to order an EIN, or an employer identification number, which is essentially the social security number for your new corporate entity. Now, I will warn you against getting LLCs, because even though most states will allow you to form what we call a single member LLC, meaning that you're the only person, the only one-man band or one-man woman, one band woman, if that makes sense, on the corporation, The IRS does not recognize a filing, a tax filing for a single member LLC. So just be careful, because even though your corporate formation service is going to say, yeah, we can form single member LLCs, they'll tell you that all day. The problem is when you file your corporate entity's tax return, then what's unfortunately going to happen is there's a likelihood that the IRS will send you a nice little letter saying, I'm sorry, you don't qualify to send this tax return in as a single member LLC because we don't actually recognize single member LLC. So unless you're going to actually have a physical business partner like a spouse or an actual legit business partner with their own social security number as your partner on the LLC, do not get a single member LLC. In fact, even if you do have a spouse or a partner, I still recommend that you get your own for-profit corporation. This is where it all starts. Now, this is a little advanced, and I'm going to warn you about this, but this is how we do credit stacking, where you just don't get one corporation. You get 2 or 3 at the same time. This is the secret. This is where the rubber meets the road, because what you're going to be doing is applying for credit at the same time for all your corporate entities. So say, for example, case in point, you decide to get 3 corporate entities. You're like, Monica, I'm all in. I definitely want to do this. I want to be able to gain access to as much unsecured credit as possible. I'm going to get 3 corporate entities. So if you go ahead and get 3 corporate entities, doesn't matter where they are, 3 separate EINs, which again stands for the Employer Identification Number, which is the Social Security number for the corporation, and say you have 3 of them, say you have a mid-FICO of 750, what you're going to do is do my secret credit stacking strategy, to where when you get all the corporate docs to all 3 corporations, for-profit corporations, then what you can do is you can start the process of applying for credit all at the same time. Or you can wait a few weeks and you'll start to notice that you'll be getting pre-screened offers. Like, for example, let me give you an example of what this looks like. So just in the mirror, I want to say just the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've gotten all these different pre-screened corporate credit, business credit offers from different banks, and I've gotten several from Bank of America and American Express and others. But this is just in the course of like a few weeks I get these. I'm just like constantly tossing these out by the wheelbarrow because I actually don't need any more credit, right? So you'll start to get these pre-screened offers also, even with a brand spanking new business. Like, a lot of people don't understand that you can actually access business credit, unsecured business credit right away, even with a brand spanking new business. It's just that you're going to be limited to corporate or business credit cards. You're not going to be able to get business lines of credit because remember what I said before, you're going to have 2 years of active tax returns, and you're going to have to show some kind of profitability with those corporations to be able to even think about qualifying for a business line of credit, or a block as they call it. And so we want to forget about that whole idea, because let me give you a case in point, an example here. Let's see. One of my favorites, of course, is American Express. I maxed out at the maximum amount of American Express cards I can get, which is 6, okay? And 5 of those 6 cards are business cards. And by the way, once you start getting business cards, you're not going to want to use your personal credit as much anymore, because otherwise it weighs heavily on your FICO score when you have, say for example, you have a Capital One card and it's in your personal name and you're using that for everything like gas and groceries and everything, and you're like more than 50% on your total balance that you can use. So for example, say you have a $5,000 credit limit and you're constantly at $3,000, like at that balance every single month. That weighs on your FICO score, that credit usage. So what you want to do is, once you start qualifying for corporate or business credit, you want to use those cards most of the time. And that's 100% legal as long as you're using your personal funds, meaning your personal checking account, for example, to pay the bill back. It's 100% legal for you to actually use business credit cards for stuff. And the business credit cards don't report on your personal credit reports. They're not supposed to. With the exception of 2 banks that I know of, which suck, by the way. So you do not want a business credit card from Capital One Sparks, and you do not want a business credit card from Discover. Okay, remember, no Capital One Sparks business, no Discover business cards, because they will report on your personal credit. However, everybody else, including American Express and Chase and everybody else, they do not report on your personal credit. So Chase Inc., by the way, is one of my favorites. Whenever they give me these pre-screened offers, I usually take them. And the reason being is because Chase Inc. will give you about $50,000 right off the bat in unsecured credit, okay? So maybe you're thinking, oh, Monica, I kind of know where you're going with this. Like, say, for example, you decide to apply for 3 Chase Inc. cards, or in the very least 2 Chase Inc. cards at the very same time for 2 of your 3 corporations. You can do that. Yes, you can. So that right there, say it's 2 out of the 3 corporations that you apply for the $50,000 unsecured card, because these people will give you 50 grand usually, unless your credit sucks. That's 100 grand right there, okay, in unsecured credit that you would be getting in just a couple of weeks, just with the Chase Inc. cards alone. And then we have other cards, like for example, Bank of America. Bank of America will usually give you about 20 to 25,000. And so the cool thing is you can literally apply for a card for each and every one of your new corporations. So if you have 3 corporations, you can apply for 3 Bank of America credit cards with no problems, no questions asked. Again, as long as you have that mid 750 or above FICO, they don't really ask a lot of questions. So I would apply for all 3 of your for-profit corporations to have a Bank of America card for each one, and you'll likely get about another, say, 75,000 just with these cards. So what are we up to? We're up to 175,000. And then, of course, you have your other cards here, which, for example, you have American Express. So American Express will give you, you could apply for all 3. So again, if you have 3 for-profit corporations, you can apply for all 3 for American Express. And American Express will usually give you about 20 to 25,000 per business per card. And I would apply for different American Expresses. Like for example, if you travel a lot, I would definitely get the Delta Amex card for your business. If you like Hilton, for example, then you would definitely want to get the Hilton Business American Express. If you like to shop on Amazon, you definitely want to get the Amazon Business Amex card, because there is an Amex card for Amazon. So I'd get that one. And so get different American Express cards. What I would avoid is the gold card. The gold card is typically the one that they'll send you the pre-screened offer to if you're a brand spanking new business. The reason you want to avoid the gold card is because you have to pay off the entire balance every single month. And you want to have that security where, if, for example, if you can't pay off the balance, you want to have the security that you can roll it over into the next month without getting in trouble with them. So I would avoid the gold run-of-the-mill American Express, and I would just go for the other ones that they have outside of what the gold offers. Okay, so those are the 3 main card carriers that I recommend. Bank of America. You could also get Chase Inc. and American Express, and that will bring you up to about $250,000 on unsecured credit. And I'll say, for example, you don't get $250,000, say you get 100 grand. That's still a lot. Like, you can use that $100,000 to start a very profitable online business from scratch, right? As long as you understand and know what you're doing, you could put that money into some kind of real estate. So you can use that money to make money. And this is the difference, the key difference between why people stay broke and poor. You know, the people at the lower end of unfortunately, the barrel of life and the society, because unfortunately they're not trained to understand how to think like a millionaire and think wealthy. And so the first thing they want to do to get this money is that they want to use it to blow it on a luxury car, and they want to use the money to blow it on a big screen TV and all this other crap that they don't need, and certainly isn't going to help them build wealth. Don't be that kind of idiot, okay? Use this money to build a business. Or go on flippa.com, for example, and you can find businesses that are already profiting and cash flowing. Maybe you can buy a low-end business that doesn't cost a lot of money, and then have somebody basically teach you how to run the business if you don't have any business savvy at all whatsoever. So that's one way of doing it. So there are endless amounts of wealth building opportunities, but you need a little bit of money to make money, right? And if you don't have that money, it's very difficult for you to start with the bootstrap way of doing things. I don't care what anybody tells you. It's just, unfortunately, when people get into business, especially if they're people that don't understand that it's all about building wealth and building investments, a lot of times when people are trying to play the credit game, they play it wrong, and they get this money. Unfortunately, they would start to apply for these variety of different card options and opportunities, and they would use the money to buy crap that doesn't build wealth, and then they get themselves deeper and deeper into debt, and that's just definitely not the way to go. So you definitely want to use this money to build wealth for yourself. No other way around it. And if you don't understand how to build wealth, then find YouTube videos, find ways of doing it. I have a lot of videos on real estate investing and other different kinds of business opportunities that you can participate in. Go on Amazon, look on different opportunities that you could potentially make money with, especially if you're trying to make money in the online space. But there are endless amounts of opportunities. In fact, you would have to be pretty much a person with your eyes sewn shut, with, cotton stuffed in your ears, with your head in the sand, to not be able to at least look around and see the opportunity, the abundant opportunity that's everywhere with any and all kinds of businesses you could start, especially if you're here in the United States of America. You are in a land of endless opportunity, even though for some reason it doesn't seem like it. If you take a look at alternative countries that you could potentially have maybe been not blessed to be born into, trust me, that is a true struggle when it comes to trying to pull your way out of that. We're already born into opportunity, okay? If we're in North America, we're born into opportunity. It's just that sometimes you just need a little bit of money to get yourself a leg up in that opportunity, and that's what this unsecured credit is for. So at least school yourself a little bit on the different kinds of business opportunities. Get yourself and your mind straight. Make a decision on what you want to go all in on, and learn as much as you possibly can about it, and then get the money for it. Like, have a plan in place. Don't just be racking up all this money, this unsecured credit, and then then what's going to end up happening is you're going to blow it on stuff that is not going to make you any money. So at least have a plan in place, please, before you run out there and start getting all of this unsecured credit. And then you start using the unsecured credit to build wealth, and before you know it, you will be a multimillionaire. And then whatever credit problems you thought you had, or whatever things that you needed to pay off or pay back, that will all be paid off and paid back with the profits and proceeds from your investments and from your business endeavors. All right. So if you like this content, please give me a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel, and then that way I can bring you more and more business opportunities and different step-by-step strategies to be able to help you build wealth, so that you can use that unsecured credit to actually profit from your investments and from your business endeavors. So this is Monica Mean signing off, and I will see you in the next video.